Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to our channel. As usual, it's me, Ivan, and in today's video, we'll be talking about this fantastic value for money Seiko Monster Homage that you can grab during the Aliexpress 11.11 sale. And I'm telling you straight away, this might be my new favorite dive watch under $100 US. As always, you can find the link and some discount codes in the description and comment section below. I bought this Steeldive together with a couple of other watches last month and I paid €104 for it, but as I just said, during the 11.11 sale you can get it for less. It's available with 6 different dial colors and each model can be bought either with a rubber strap or a steel bracelet. I went for the red dial on the bracelet simply because it's the combination I like the most. However, I must admit that I find the blue and orange models very tempting as well. No matter which one you go for, they all come with the Seiko NH36 movement and they're all shipped in the familiar Steeldive plastic case. Alright guys, you know the procedure. What we're going to talk about now are the dimensions. These are almost identical to Seiko Monster's dimensions, and so the case diameter is 42.1 millimeters, the lug to lug is 48, the thickness is 14.4, and the lug width is 20 millimeters. Guys, this is one of those bigger watches that will wear nicely even on smaller wrists than mine due to the compact lug to lug and great bracelet articulation. Here it is on mine, which is 17 centimeters or 6.7 inches in circumference, and in my opinion it wears beautifully. It's a bit heavy, sized for me it weighs 185 grams, but that's perfectly fine as the watch is really well balanced and it doesn't feel uncomfortable at all. As far as the wrist presence goes, this Steeldive has plenty, as the all steel look combined with this red dial is very difficult to ignore. When it comes to the design, I don't think it's necessary to even mention it, but just in case there is someone watching who is just getting into watches, well, you should know that this Steeldive looks identical to the Seiko Monster models. Personally, I don't have any issues with that, but some people do. Anyways, the design here may not be an original one, but it's great, and if you're like me who wants to experience it for less than €100, then what you're seeing here is a very good alternative. Guys, one of the things that you're going to be extremely surprised with if you decide to buy this watch is the build quality. I've seen different Seiko Monster models in person, I've even reviewed one here on the channel, and in my opinion this Steeldive is just as good. In fact, it may be even better. It's made of 316L steel, the finishing on the case is just as good as Seiko's, and it's also water resistant to 200 meters thanks to its screw-in crown and case back. However, this Steeldive features a very nice and very clear domed sapphire crystal, while Seiko is using a mineral one. Some people will tell you that Seiko uses mineral crystals because they are more shatter resistant than sapphire, but the truth is that they do it as a cost-cutting measure. Otherwise, my Marine Master would have been made with a mineral crystal as well. The area where Seiko beats this Steeldive is the dive execution, there is no doubt about it, and the finishing on the bracelet as well, but when it comes to the overall build quality, they are pretty much on par. Speaking of the bracelet, I don't think you'll be disappointed with this one. It feels well made, all the links are solid, and they're joined together with split pins, making the sizing process very easy. The finishing is pretty decent as well, we've got a combination of bead blasted and polished surfaces. Overall it looks good, but the polished bits are not very impressive, and from this close-up footage you can see exactly what I mean. They just don't look very mirror-like. Despite that, I still think it's a very good bracelet, it's very smooth to the touch, and it doesn't have any rough or sharp edges. Here's what the clasp looks like. It's quite generic, it has 6 micro adjustment points, and to be honest, I like it more than Seiko's, as at least the inner folding part is milled. The good news is that if you get tired of the bracelet, you can easily remove it and replace it with something else. What I like about this design is that there isn't much space between the end links and the case, which means that you can literally use any straight end strap or bracelet and it will look good. I tried this black canvas with red stitching and I don't think it's a good match, as it makes the whole watch look very unproportionate, but at least you can see how it fits the case. NATO straps are fine though, they're a bit of a snug fit, but you can give them a try. As long as they're not too thick, you shouldn't have any problems with installing them. Before we move on to the dial, I want us to check the bezel action, and to be fair, it's pretty good. In fact, this might be another area where this Steeldive beats Seiko. It's louder and all the clicks feel more positive and precise. This bezel is very grippy, it takes the right amount of effort to turn it. There is very little backplay and the alignment is perfect. Alright guys, it's time we talk about this beautiful dial. As already mentioned, it sits behind a sapphire crystal, which is single domed, and as a result you get quite a few distortions when you stare at it from different angles. The dial itself is really nice. The dark red color is very rich and it looks great in my opinion. At the 3 o'clock we have a day-date complication which is framed, and while I prefer no-date watches, I don't mind it here at all. The handset and the indices are of the familiar style and design, and they are filled with a decent amount of lume, which we'll check in a moment. The only thing that I feel it needs a bit of an improvement is the logo. It's a nice logo to have on the case back, but when scaled down, it's just hard to see what it is exactly. Besides that, I've got no other complaints. It's a great looking red dial and it offers excellent legibility. The lume is really nice. The Aliexpress listing suggests that it's Super Luminova C3, and I think it might be true, as it's very bright and long-lasting. It's not quite on the same level as Seiko's Lume Bright, but it's still very good, and I don't think you'll be disappointed with it. Next, we need to talk about the movement. This Steeldive features the Seiko NH36 caliber, which is the day-date version of the NH35. The specs are literally the same, and so it has 24 jewels, a power reserve of 41 hours, and the stated accuracy is also the same, -20 to +40 seconds per day. Mine is running just 9 seconds fast per day, so that's nice. Something else that I want to mention here, guys, is that the days of the week are shown in 2 different formats. The first one consists of the English days abbreviations, while the second one consists of Roman numerals, and I find it very interesting. I especially like how Sunday is indicated by a big red square. It's different, and I quite like it. There you have it, everyone. The bottom line is, I'm very impressed with this Steeldive Monster Homage. You know, I like Seiko watches, I've got a couple, and I absolutely love them. I've also wanted a Seiko Monster for a long time, but lately I've been reviewing so many great value for money Aliexpress watches that I just can't justify paying €500 for one. If you are in the same position where you don't want to spend much, but you want to experience this design, I believe this Steeldive is one of the best alternatives. Of course, that's just my opinion, so let me know whether you agree or disagree with me in the comments below. This is the end of today's video, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, a thumbs up would really help the channel, and if you're new, consider subscribing so that you don't miss what's coming next. I'll be spending a good chunk of money this 11.11 and I'm open for recommendations, so feel free to drop me a comment. Take care guys, I'll see you in the next one.